Hey guys, Demi here from Atlas Vibration Spirituality, and I am here with your Mercury Retrograde Collective Update. Well guys, eclipse season, retrogrades out the wazoo. I haven't made the videos for the Pluto retrograde and the Neptune retrograde. I'm just guessing it's not the right time yet, but it is coming hopefully by the end of the month. So we'll go with that. We'll give ourselves our time frame for that. But we're feeling it, right? Like, we're reviewing a little bit, and this retrograde, it may feel like it's almost like a dud, is what Spirit kind of told me today. And I was kind of like, why? But anytime that Mercury, I feel, goes into an earth sign, excuse me, sorry, my allergies started bothering me all of a sudden. Anytime I feel that Mercury is in an earth sign, it doesn't have as big of an effect because earth signs are very calm. But in this case, we get Mercury in its home sign of Virgo. And it will go into Leo on August 14th. And the retrograde Mercury goes direct on the 28th. So we get this for the whole rest of the month, pretty much. But it seems challenging, Spirit's telling me, but you guys, you guys will make it through it if you just kind of listen and follow to what they've told us. So, once this retrograde goes into Leo, you'll see a little bit more of that verbal aggression and stuff like that. So we'll go over it. So it's going to be real slow at first, and it's going to be somewhat calm-ish, and then it will kind of pick up, and then we'll go from there. But initially, while Mercury is in Virgo for this retrograde, we are reviewing our mental processes. And the key thing to take from this is overstimulation and how you are analyzing things down to the bone and paying attention to the small details in your own mind. A lot of people don't realize that Virgo itself is a very retrospecting sign. It's about the self. It's a healing sign. And I do agree with some of the astrologers and my friends who study all of the spiritual things that Mercury is also ruled by Chiron. I think it's dually ruled as well. So something to think about as you're moving through this retrograde, and you've been seeing with the shadow period for the last 2 weeks. Now, once again, this is happening in a set place in your chart. Please, 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 I highly suggest, as we are ascending and moving into 4D and 5D, please check out your own thumbprint, the chart your natal chart. Check to see where this is happening. And I say it every time, this is happening in my 2 houses. This is going to be happening in 2 different places of my 12th house and my 11th house. So friendships and spiritual and things like that. Sorry guys, give me 1 second. I gotta blow my nose, okay? Sorry about that, guys. I literally just blew my nose, and when I tell you, then something flew in my eye. I was like, okay, but so as I was saying, this is all about you, how you analyze things. This is going to be about your mental health, how you mentally rest, what's fitting your routine, what isn't, how you view your coworkers, how much time you take for yourself. And it's about all the mental processes. How are you thinking about this? How is your mind working? What is it that you need to review slowly? It's an earth sign, right? So Leo, as it moves into Leo, we're going to review our creativity. And Spirit wanted us to really focus on how can I come up with or express myself through my mind and my mental processes, and how the heart and mind can work through duality. Remember, Leo is about the heart space. If you guys didn't watch my new moon in Leo, please go take a look. I explain Leo energy a little bit more there, and I highly suggest looking up and seeing what this means. And so remember, everything has a light and a shadow side. So keep in mind too that whatever you're looking into has a light and a dark side. So you may be seeing, once again, how are you being selfish when this comes to the Leo aspect of this retrograde? Your own mind and your own mind only, maybe only thinking about yourself. You're only thinking about the things that maybe you can do, where you can be a little bit more selfish. And this retrograde altogether is going to put a heavy retrospection on you and who you are and how you go through your daily life and how you are as a person. It's not really going to affect you if it's not running through a house that has to do with people. And for example, like my 11th house is about friendships and groups, so I will be reviewing things when it comes to people and groups, but it's not going to be, it's going to be more about me and how I view my friends, how I view the groups that I'm in, how I'm speaking to them, how I'm talking to them, how am I mentally processing all of these things. And so you may be finding that there are things that you're reviewing, so just keep that in mind. I forgot to also say that Leo's also about kids, so you're maybe seeing about kids, changes in how you like mentally think about your kids and the mental processing with your kids, and learning to work through, once again, expression and how the two of heart and mind can combine. So please keep that in mind. Now, Mercury retrograde, things to not do, like don'ts, I do, like once again, typical Mercury retrograde things. No signing contracts unless you read the contract fully and try and put it off as best as you can, because usually things don't work out. Also, travel. So I highly suggest leaving early for travel. Expect delays if that's the case. You're seeing it here, especially in the US. We have a hurricane ripping through Florida right now, Hurricane Debbie. And so you're also seeing maybe construction, people kind of driving aggressively due to the Leo aspect, people kind of taking their time, analyzing things down to the bone, like this person didn't put their turn signal on, or the person's not paying attention at all to the small details. So just keep that in mind. And also siblings. So I would say this is just a review about siblings as well. Anything to do with a sibling, anything to do with, especially if you're a twin. That's another thing, if you have a twin, feeling that connection. But it just depends on that. So Mercury is all about communication, travel, how you think, how you process. So we've gone through this many times. But Spirit's big takeaway with this is slow down. Take your time getting places, and also see how you can be more you in your authentic state. And that's really what this retrograde is all about. Retrospection, going in, slowing down. Retrogrades are the feminine energy, where masculine energy is when the planet is direct. So this is a time to review, slow down, see those things, and really make those changes and take action on that when the retrograde is over. And I say this every time. The planet is moving backwards, like appears to be moving backwards from Earth in the sky. And what happens is it goes back to a point, right? And then it's just like it stops at that point to an extent, but then it starts moving forward, right? So we have to go over again and live it through with the thing that we just reviewed to see if you learned the lesson, okay? So I will pull a card for us to help us move through. And let me, for the collective. What do we need to do? Or, here we go, here's our advice. I'm like, what do we need to do? We got the Star and we got the Lovers upright. So, you guys are going to be feeling a lot of mental blockages with this Mercury retrograde, because it's hard to really make decisions during this time because we're reviewing, right? The Star is Aquarian energy and the Lovers is Gemini energy. And so with this, and that's ruled by Mercury, this is an air sign, so it's very airy and thinking and whatnot. So Spirit's advice to us and what we can do as advice as we move through is, do not force. I'm hearing maybe for somebody specifically, do not force an outcome. And I feel for some, you're trying to work on your love lives, you're reviewing your relationships. I know that I'm hearing that exes tend to come back in, but it's a time to review. And they're saying if you've already learned the lesson, don't put yourself into it and don't get yourself caught up in that mental state of analyzing and going over again, okay? This is a time when we may feel lost and we're trying to make decisions and we're trying to move forward, but the key thing is Gemini energy upright, self-respect, okay? Self-respect, connecting with people that understand you, soul-to-soul connections. They respect you, they respect your time, they respect your needs, they respect your wants. And maybe so you guys are trying to transition out of a phase where you're maybe in the unknown and unsure and trying to work through spirit and trying to maybe even for some technological issues, and you will have it with the Mercury retrograde regardless because it rules technology as well. So just keep in mind that you need to be in a place where you're still healing, you're still moving forward, the unknown is unknown, but that means that it can be created, right? And so that is key to take with this. And the best practical action for us to take right now in regard to the retrograde is the Father of Swords. So even though this is once again more air energy, we need to stand firm in our boundaries, stand firm in and saying no, and even saying, like, standing firm and saying yes. Like, if that means, like, and this is really coming in, and this is that Leo energy from the heart space, from that place of loyalty, from that place of passion, and saying no, and saying yes, being direct in what it is that we know that we do want, and setting boundaries, and also being direct in our communication as well. And I know that you guys are reviewing this, but, like, the thing that I'm seeing is whatever lessons that you have learned, like the Sagittarian wisdom, what have you learned already that you can implement? For some of you to review the things, the lessons that you've done and learned, to implement that more, but also to review it as well and stick with it. And so for some also I'm hearing, do not let people take advantage of you. This is something big too, because they're learning some things, you're learning some things, and it's just like you're learning your lessons, and being taken advantage of is not one of them, okay? So I hope that this read resonated with you and this helped you, and until next time, namaste.